She bought the bar.
All right, so hey, man, this is a surprise. Welcome to Andrew's midday show. So if you haven't had a lunch already, I encourage you, if you are in this anywhere, you feel like driving, if you're not close, then you need to get close. But where you need to be at right now or calling in your lunch is at Donnie's Grill. And Donnie's Grill is located in Bucksport, South Carolina. The address there is 915 Bucksport Road. As you can see on the screen, you can call them at 843-344-8010. That is Donnie's Grill. As you come in here, and if you can hear me clearly, please hit the like button just to let me know that you here rocking with me with lunch at the lunch crowd over at Donnie's Grill. Donnie's Grill. Donnie's Grill. Donnie's Grill. Donnie's Grill. Yeah. Thank you for hitting that like button. So now we got a little free time today, so we gonna, you know what I mean, we're gonna mess around a little bit.
Now listen to me, little bitch.
Whoa, not so strong this time of the day. People trying to have lunch. And also, man, speaking of Donnie's Grill, y'all, listen, coming up on July 8th, there's going to be a comedy show and a dinner event. It's going to be really nice. Good time to come out and, hang out. Nice crowd. Good comedy. Come on out there and check that out. And that's going to take place. And headlining is going to be my man, you see on the screen right there, comedian Nick Lewis. And it's going to be Nick Lewis and friends in the building. So y'all come on out to Donnie's. The tickets are on sale right now at eventbrite.com. So head on over to Eventbrite and check that out. So there's a link in the title, so you may have to click on it if you want to come on and get into what we're talking about today. Biggest thing that I see trending all over the internet is about this submarine. So I did a little research in that and see to try to add a little. I want to know why it's such a big thing. All right. I know it'd probably be a good morale boosting trip, a team building exercise for Georgetown County Council. So that's why the title suggests that the next submarine, we should get those county council members along with Angela Christian to go down and view the Titanic on the next trip that they send out that way. Yeah, we're gonna have a little fun today. The lunchtime crowd is in the building. One more thing I want to get out of the way before we get into what I want to talk about is the 4th of July celebration that's going down in Bloomingville. Okay, and this is the annual event. I always like to say one of the longest standing community organized events in South Carolina. So Saturday, July 1st, 2023, the parade entry is $5. Vendor fee is $65. So reach out to the Bloomingville Community Association. You see it, the name, the spelling, BLOOMINGVLAE, Community Association, for more information on that event. So again, man, everybody's been talking about this sub and I trying to figure out why I'm trying to figure out why Georgetown County Council members are not answering why they are having meetings and not including the town of Andrews in these meetings. This is what I'm concerned with. But I don't drive the national conversation, and the national conversation has switched, maybe intentionally, don't know, but it's definitely switched, and now it's focused on this sub and this company right here, Ocean Gate Expedition. Okay, and this is a company that is located in Everett, Washington, and not Everett, Carolina. Everett, Carolina is located in Georgetown County, but send them on this trip here. But this company has been charging people, I think about $250,000 per clip to go out and visit the wreckage of the Titanic. And the Titanic, as you can see on this map right here, is located off the coast of Canada in the North Atlantic, and it's doesn't quite say how far off land, but I know it's located in international waters, which is, I think, is going to play a part. But the wreckage is, as you can see here by this illustration on the screen, the wreckage is about 2 miles down. 12,415 feet is what they got here. So you can see in this illustration, right, where the Navy submarines operate at a depth of about 4,265 feet. And that depth that they just gave you right there, that 4,000, that is the extreme. Okay, that is the extreme. So you take, for example, the Navy, the Los Angeles class submarines. These subs generally operate at a depth of about 984 feet, 300 meters. That's the general operating depth of these vessels. And this is the Navy we're talking about, the United States Navy, okay? And we're talking about Navy subs. And they operate at a max depth of about right at 3,000 feet, okay? Now, I said to you that this wreckage is at 12,000 feet. Well, at 12,000 feet, that puts it at 2.5 miles deep. All right. Because a mile is 5,260 feet. 5,200. I got it somewhere. I got it exactly somewhere. But this ship is down 2 miles. Okay. And then you got on this is a great illustration right here, because you got the Grand Canyon. And I don't know if any of you have ever been to the Grand Canyon. You probably can find some pictures that'll give you a good visual aid. This building, the Burj Khalifa, this is the tallest building in the world. Okay. And so it's showing you how, if you stuck that building in the ocean where the Titanic is, that's how close you would get to it, which is nowhere. Okay. And so the Grand Canyon is just barely past a mile deep. And so, and you still see so much space here that you would have to cover. And so, again, the Navy, the United States Navy, okay, with all of its military might, with all of its, resources, they don't operate at, there's this ship that was designed by this man who apparently designed planes and thing. And I'm saying this man, I'll pull up his name in a second. I apologize. Should have had it right now. But the name of the company is Ocean Gate and is located in Everett, Washington, not Everett, Carolina. Everett, Carolina is a county council member who thing. So right here, you see an article, and this article was dated back in sometime. One company offered a $250,000 ticket to visit what's left of the ship. Okay. And so people were signing up for this, obviously. In my research, I found out that the company's really not making any money on these trips, because one trip costs about $1 million in fuel. And from what I could gather, the trip down was supposed to take an hour, the descent an hour or so, hour and a half or something like that. And it cost $1 million in fuel, which sounds, I don't know what kind of fuel. They must be using some kind of antimony and kryptonite or some kind of something. But it's not human. I promise you that. It's not from here. And so these people were signing up to go on this trip. Now, again, I'm still trying to figure out why it's so fascinating to the people. And I get the drama part of it. Okay, you got 5 people, life's in the balance. The whole just think about being under the sea and being that deep, and because if that vessel had any kind of flaw in its design, it got crushed. It imploded. Like they're not gonna find them. They'll find maybe a ball or something. But in my research with it is just, I'm not believing it. I'm really not believing it, because if you're wanting me to believe that billionaires, you ain't no dummy to acquire $1 billion unless somebody just gave it to you. And from what I could gather, these are self-made people, and they I want you to listen to this first, but also the ocean, like that depth of 2.5 miles, that's really not deep when it comes to the ocean. Because you take, for example, along what this was called the Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench is about 68 miles deep. Okay, so if you're listening to this from Andrews, South Carolina, it'd be the distance from you leaving Andrews driving to Columbia, South Carolina. That's how deep that part of the ocean is. Off the coast of Japan, you see over there, Philippines, the Mariana Trench. And we don't have a vessel to go down this deep. Not a manned vessel. Okay, and these are images of the Titanic that these people were going down to see. I don't know why they didn't just rent the movie and just been done with it. But I guess when you get that much money, your sense of thrill and excitement changes or whatever. So I wanted to share this with you all. So when we get to feeling sorry for these people who decided to do this on their own. And here is the CEO of the company, right? Here's the CEO of this company. Let me turn this up, turn this down. Here's the CEO of this company, guys. I want y'all to check this out.
An experimental submersible vessel that has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. Where do I sign?
We only have one button. That's it. It should be like an elevator.
I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
We can use these off-the-shelf components. I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Now, and you want me to believe that billionaires signed up for this. Billionaires with a B. And allegedly one of the billionaires took his 19-year-old son with him. They running this thing off of that's like me designing an airplane and say, hey, I'm going to control it with this mouse. If you look at comparable submersible, small man boats, the technology in there, the redundant systems in these things are it's unbelievable. And so you mean to tell me billionaires signed up for this? Billionaires with a B signed up to do this, to go down in this tube with one button. Got to be crazy. Or they think I'm crazy. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a minute. I just don't. I simply just don't. So in the meantime, what I would like for you all to do, right, is reach out to your local council members. Here's the numbers. And see, can't we get them signed up for the next trip on this sub? Because, this was just the first one. And here is and so I want to call these people on live, but in South Carolina, if I call them, right, and immediately I say, hey, look, I identify myself and you're being recorded, it still doesn't cover me. And in South Carolina, that is a felony. So if you're going to call somebody before you start recording, you should probably talk to them. Get a consent. If you got a consent from one of the parties, and I don't understand how that means. What does that mean? If at least one of them, maybe somebody who knows some legal jargon, knows something about the law, can tell me, because it says if one of the parties consent. Well, I'm one of the parties and I consent. So how does that work? Am I covered by that? That's what I could not get clarity on, because what I wanted to do is call these people right now on live, not to harass them or not to, but ask legitimate questions. And so, but before I did that, I went and looked at the law on what it is. See, that the guy there, he's a lawyer too. Oh my goodness. So, but I do know, shout out to my man Gerard, man. Boom, Cuz made that call this morning. Cuz made that call, sent me the inbox. Like, yeah, they got rid of that quick. So y'all, while you having your lunch, just go ahead and dial the number. And the question is, why? Excuse me, not even why, okay? Not even why. The question is, when are you, the county council, Georgetown County Council, planning to meet with the town of Andrews like you met with Georgetown recently? What is that date? Don't tell me we're planning it. What is the date? I'm sure if you had a date to meet with one, you had a date to meet with all. Just my humble, well, maybe not so humble, but just my opinion. Okay? That's all he is right here. And that company is out in Everett. It's spelled different. Everett. Y'all please give Everett a call. Now, I'm going to call him when I get off of this, okay? Because that's not a felony, all right? That's not a felony. I just wanted to do it, I just wanted to do it on live or whatever. And so, yeah, because as soon as I call them, then I'm recording them. But again, I'm consenting. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Is what I want to know. What does it mean? What does it mean? But like, so with this case right here, with the Titanic, here's some things that I was thinking about. And because you got to understand, there are two types of laws. There's the law of the land and the law of the sea. Okay. And one of the questions was about, liability. This company obviously will get sued. Now, you heard him read off of consent, but then I also heard a lawyer say that does not automatically clear them of liability, because you also heard them talking about in that report, this gun was using lights from the camper store. He was using commercial grade products to go to basically the surface of the sun. Okay, going down that deep, taking a manned vessel that deep is like going to the surface of the sun or Mars or the moon. Well, that's if you don't believe we've been there, but enough tinfoil. Do U.S. laws apply on the ocean? The laws of that country apply to any vessel, regardless of where it is registered, while navigating on these waters. And that is why reading is fundamental, because you see here it says on, O-N, on these waters. This vessel did not operate on the water, so there may not be any type of law for this vessel. Just some of my ghetto logic, my hood theory, my boy, he can read a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. But I think them guys pulled a David Copperfield on us. And I'm just going to put it out there. I think them boy is someplace else doing some other things. Y'all be sure and reach out to Miss Angela Christian. Who is she? She is the Georgetown County Administrator, and call her ASAP and ask her, Miss Christian, when do you have the meeting scheduled for Andrews and Georgetown County Council to do the joint meeting that you did with the city of Georgetown. Please. Thank you, Miss Christian. But yeah, I'm interested in this whole case here. You know, I am interested. I am intrigued by it. Again, the company is Ocean Gate.
Sure that component, which is clearly the most critical component of the sub, is safe and capable of handling depths down to 4,000 meters repeatedly with people on board.
Down. So yeah, I see everybody talking about it. I mean, what do you think about the fact that they were controlling that ship with and the ship has no onboard GPS. So how it works is the submarine is down here where the microphone is, and then they got a ship up above it, and they are literally communicating through text messages. The ship above may say, hey, look, the object is over to the right 100 yards, and that's how they communicate, through text messages. And you're convincing me that billionaires, because I mean, who else got $250,000 to go? And then they said again, they didn't make any money off of this because the fuel was. It just sounds like a nice little scam that could be run on billionaires who were, for whatever reason, in search of some thrill and action, and so they ended up at the bottom of the sea. Okay, and so y'all make sure y'all get these folks here: Bob Anderson, lowercase Raymond, Miss Lily Johnson, the Georgetown County Council, and don't forget about you. And Clint, I got you too, bro. I keep forgetting a little your picture. This is who we're signing up to. We're volunteering. We're demanding that you sign up for this thing as the people of the county. I'm speaking for them, taking the liberty of speaking for them. But it's one more video I want you guys to check out in regards to all this fake concern about these people who decided to go to the bottom of the ocean. For what? I don't know. There must be something down there for them. There must be some kind of there must be something down there. Must be a treasure or something that they heard the stories about on the Titanic or something. There's got to be something. I mean, just to say, oh, well, what'd you do this weekend? Well, I went down and saw the Titanic. Really? How was that? You know, and I get that. You know what I mean? I get that. For $250,000 a pop, though, you know, they must be dealing with some thing. And talking about the oxygen, missing Titanic tourism sub has run out of oxygen, estimations suggest. And they could very well have popped up somewhere and be bobbing out in the ocean somewhere. The ocean's big. But I just don't believe that people were on that thing and they went down in the ocean. I think this is oh, and by the way, the Prime Minister of India is here in the United States, just in case you were wondering. All right, where's that video at? Let me get in here. Yeah, and all these people are popping up. I mean, dude is.
Yeah, as soon as I heard of the missing submersible, it rang alarm bells and reminded me of our own trip down to Titanic, which was extraordinary adventure and had some of the dramas that you just reported, but happily not the same dramatic loss of contact.
When you say some of the dramas, tell us what happened.
So one of the three-man subs that I was due to dive in was damaged in a similar way by a launch vessel in rough weather, and the Russian mechanics simply mended it with duct tape, and we went down anyway.
What were your feelings when you were going down? I mean, are you claustrophobic? I'm assuming that you're not.
I don't think I am, and I didn't really have time to think about it. There's all sorts of things. There is a little bit of claustrophobia. There's nausea as you bob about at the top waiting to go down, and a sense of fear knowing the dangers that you're going into. But there's also an exhilaration of what you're hoping to see.
So then when they end up dead at the bottom of the sea, I don't think that, I mean, he's after that exhilaration, and a part of chasing that exhilaration might mean you know what I mean? Just so I'm looking for one more video real fast, and then we'll get back to whether or not we should call these people. I'm not calling them because they coming. If I call them, ooh, felony charges will be found immediately. I'm talking about. And apparently they got together to they got together to discuss issues that affected both jurisdictions. Don't you think the people should have been there, though? I mean, Georgetown County. So we just let these people know, whatever happens, Georgetown County Council, I propose that you write a resolution that you guys go on a team building exercise to the Titanic. Maybe y'all should go to the maybe you guys should go to the Mariana Strait. This is the one I think I was looking for.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products. It's Amazon's other
parts of the submarine that I'd seen in the testing in the Bahamas just seemed a bit shoddy. They're using industrial piping for ballast. They're using an Xbox controller for the steering. The strip lightings, something you get at a DIY shop. Small cramped, so it says. I wasn't happy with some of the design, like the thrusters on the outside with the cables there.
That man said they're using an Xbox
what really
controller.
Did it for me was they flatly refused to get any form of certification, and it seemed that they had no intention of getting any certification for going down to those depths once, let alone several times. They also had a lightning strike during one of the testings. The submarine that I'd seen in the testing in the Bahamas just seemed a bit.
All right, this man was, he's a friend of one of the explorers.
Parts of the submarine that I'd seen in the testing in the Bahamas.
Chris Brown, friend of missing explorer Hamish Harding.
Bahamas just seemed a bit shoddy. They're using industrial piping for ballast. They're using
industrial piping for ballast. Ballast is how you keep a vessel balanced, upright.
An Xbox controller.
An Xbox controller is used to play a video game, not to take a trip to the bottom of the ocean.
For the steering. The strip lightings, something you get at a DIY shop. Small cramped.
Strip lighting is something that I will be installing on this backdrop right here, and I'm not going to the bottom of the sea.
So it says, I wasn't happy with some of the design, like the thrusters on the outside with the cables there. I thought that was a snagging hazard. But what really did it for me was they flatly refused to get any form of certification. And it seemed that they had no intention of getting any certification for going down to those depths once, let alone several times. They also had a lightning strike during one of the testings, which blew all of the electronics. You know, these things happen, but they didn't have it ended the testing. And that made me ask, well, where's the redundancy? Because it's normal in a vessel of any form that has human life. You've got redundancy. You usually have two of two. So you'd have a redundant separate system, and then you'd have two of those. But the fact that one lightning strike blew the whole thing was, well, where's the safety measures here? So just all of those things together made me think there's a lot of risks here that I'm not able to mitigate and don't seem in control. So I pulled out at that point. That was the end of 2018. Let's be straight, it's not looking good. Oxygen's obviously very low. It's not just oxygen. The sub, let's assume it's at the bottom of the ocean. It could still be bobbing along at the surface, just unable to communicate. But that's an issue in itself, because here's another safety issue for me. It can only be opened from the outside. So if it's surface, they can't, they're still going to have oxygen problems.
Wow.
If you're thinking about buying solar panels, don't. The U.S.
Wowzers is the way that I'll classify that one right there, man. Again, I have a link in the in the title. So if you want to come on and hop on board, come on. So we're gonna rock out for a while before I go get me some lunch. So yeah, per South Carolina law, I cannot call these people while I'm on live. That is a felony. So do not record these people without their consent. Again, I could be wrong on my understanding, my interpretation of that. And so until I get further interpretation, then I'm just gonna defer. You know what I mean? I'm going to defer so as to not give the monkeys a chance to figure out. That way we'll silence him. We won't deal with what he's saying. We'll just attack him because he's being rude when he says it. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to respond to people that ignore you. Are you supposed to just continually, yes, can you please help us? Can you please help us? Well, I'm not doing that, okay? And I'm gonna try my best to remain as civil as possible, as I possibly can. What up, Mr. Briggs? Welcome to the unexpected broadcast. So, well, what you can do, Mr. Briggs, is call down there and ask Mr. Lewis Morant, hey, when do you guys plan to have the joint meeting that you had with Georgetown County Council and the city of Georgetown? When you're going to have that same thing with Andrews? Because it seems as if Andrews has been coming forward in the last 6-7 months with, I mean, straight up and down legitimate concerns. One being the EMS not being located in the town of Andrews. And it's got down to it's a ego thing, seems to be. I mean, there we go. There we go. This ain't nothing new. This ain't just been brought up. I don't see the citizens of Georgetown, and I have nothing against the citizens of Georgetown, but I don't see them laying out their concerns to the county. Again, not a knock against the citizens of Georgetown, but come on. And just the way Scott did with those ladies who wanted to have a candid conversation in the county. The way he backed down with that, and he was told, don't cover that. I'm sure they got it in the budget. Take that. I'd be cool with that. I'd be cool with the money that you guys should be turning over to Andrews to complete its project with that town hall. I would completely change courses right now if you were to commit that money to paying for you guys' seats on the next sub down to the Titanic. I think it's $250,000 per. So let's see, that's $500,000. That's $1 million. That's $1.5 million. That's $2 million. Oh yeah, and y'all have some money to spare. If y'all, I'll tell you what, y'all come up with the number, and I'm speaking unofficially. This is Welcome to Andrews, the podcast speaking. This ain't the time. But if I were in charge, I would be down for a deal, right? So let's see. That's 250,000. That's 500,000. That's 750,000. That's 1 million. That's 1.2. That's 1.5. 1.7. $2 million, right? So whatever the bill is that you guys lose when you finally come to court, right? When it comes to the town hall and that $41 million that was grossly misappropriated, that was taken from the taxpayers from during the 1 cent penny tax collection, I would definitely be for, and if I were in charge, taking $2 million of the whatever the bill is you're gonna owe to Andrews. I would take $2 million of that off, and Andrews, you're gonna have to find that $2 million wherever you can find it. Y'all got a pretty good mayor. He should be able to help y'all find that $2 million. I think he probably won't say it publicly, but I promise you, I can't even promise you because I don't know what that man thinks like that. But yeah, I would take that $2 million and I would pay for seats on the next vessel down to that Titanic. Okay, I would pay for those seats for these council members. Right, and here's the company, Ocean. And listen, they're gonna need that $2 million because after this, they're gonna get sued, assuming that the worst. You know what I mean? Maybe that thing, and just like the guy would say, maybe that vessel was out bobbing up in the ocean, but that doesn't matter because you can't open it from the inside. So oxygen would still be an issue. But yeah, I would definitely be for taking that $2 million and signing them up for a trip. Now, I would not feel that way if you decide to go ahead and release that money and let the town of Andrews go ahead and prosper. Stop being a hindrance to the town of Andrews. Tickets are available on eventbrite.com. What are they available for? Well, let's get over here out of this thing, y'all. It is Donnie's Cooking with Comedy. Make sure you go out and get you a ticket. Not go out, but just go online and get you a ticket. Early bird tickets will be, price will be going up here in the next week. So go ahead and take advantage of the opportunity to listen to some great comedy and enjoy some great food. If you are in the area, please go ahead out and visit Donnie's Grill. That is Donnie's Grill. Donnie's Grill is located in Bucksport, South Carolina at 915 Bucksport Road. It's about 1 mile down from the marina before you get to the marina. So stop in, grab you some lunch, call ahead, 915 Bucksport Road. That's Donnie's Grill. Again, if you need a place to host your next event, Donnie's Grill will be ideal for that. Very spacious, very clean, great environment, and he has an outdoor space. We can go out and hang out outside. You got to try one of those pineapple bowls at Donnie's Grill. That is Donnie's Grill. Bing. Yep. So what else did we want to get into this evening? Something else. Give me a second here, y'all. I mean, we just chilling on a Thursday, on a rainy Thursday. Is it storming down there bad? Where you at? Okay, there's some work. So if you or anybody that you know is looking for a life insurance, you guys have to check out Miss Jerry Davis. You can find her on Facebook. Is there a number, Miss Davis, that I can put up out there? Well, yeah, you need that insurance now. Get that insurance, And I know you guys have heard that name before, Miss Jerry Davis. Miss Jerry Davis is the founder of Black Diamond Princess. Okay, Black Diamond Princess, very important organization in Andrews community. Anybody dealing with any kind of sexual assault, you're in a situation where you think you don't have any help, well, please contact Black Diamond Princess. Any physical abuse, mental abuse, anything like that, contact Black Diamond Princess. This is not a police organization. This organization is not associated with the police. This is a nonprofit organization designed to help you get the help that you need. So you make sure you reach out to Black Diamond Princess LLC. And the phone number, you see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen, is 843-543-4690. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. So yes, Miss Davis is now selling life insurance. So y'all make sure y'all go and check out what she has to offer and get yourself that peace of mind that you need with that life insurance. Because you gonna die. We all gonna die. So I mean, that's just part of the deal. It comes with the deal. That's just part of the deal. So you need to be ready. You need to be prepared. Don't put that burden on your people. But you can put the burden on these people and give them a call and ask them, why do y'all hate Andrews? What's wrong with Andrews? Why y'all ain't call us, and when is our meeting scheduled? Don't ask them that. Just ask them, when is the meeting scheduled, because we want to be there. We want to be there, right, Miss Lily Johnson? Right, Miss Johnson? Yes, sir, Mr. Richardson. My name is Lily Johnson. My number is 546-6307. Okay. And again, I would call these people right now, which I'm going to hurry up. I'm not hurry up getting off, but I'm going to call them before they leave their offices, and I'll leave some very nice messages. Because I'm suspecting by the time I get on, after all the calls they've been receiving today, they ain't answering like they was before. And for some of you who have young teenage kids, you may hear them talking about this young man right here. He's from Savannah, Georgia. His name is Quando Arando. Quando Arando was just arrested the last couple days ago on charges of being a gang leader. And you see here, he's the alleged leader of the Rolling 60 Crips that are in Savannah, Georgia. And here you see Mr. Rondo here. He's been picked up along with 18 other co-defendants. This is one of the covers of one of his last albums called Promoting Violence. So you'll probably be hearing something about this right here, which kind of leads me into what I want to talk about now. And it's the demonic forces that control the hip-hop music industry. Why do I have that stuff there? Oh, I should have put it in the foreground, but that's why. So I got to go off screen here for a second. Yeah, and I mean, is it that we ignore that part of it? Is that what people are doing? Ignoring the demonic side of the hip hop industry? Because you are, I mean, if you have a child who constantly got headphones on and constantly listen to this music, you may need to take a little closer look into that music and what it is they're saying to your child and what they're saying to the people, because the music is very influential. I mean, if you're honest with yourself, growing up, it influenced you, but it has. There's no more hiding the demonic side of it anymore. There's no more, they've done away with the subtleties now. Now it's all out in the open, and it is what it is. And so, are you aware of this? Do you track this kind of thing, or do you think, you know what, the child's not bothering me? Let them listen to whatever it is they listen, as long as they don't do it in my house. And then we wonder how that innocent child goes from this to that. And it has a lot to do with the music. But yeah, Quando Rondo was taken in on a 49 count indictment. Now, his wasn't as violent. And when I say violent, Young Thug out of Atlanta is going through a RICO charge right now. But that gang YSL was a lot more violent. There was a lot more violence. There was a lot more violence reported in that indictment. This is a lot of what seems to be petty, because Quando Rondo is a top level artist. I mean, he's I don't know if he's quite A-list yet, but I know he's big. He's big in this region. And again, he is charged as being the leader of the Rolling 60 Crips, which is something many of you listening to have never heard of. So you should probably look into that and pay attention to what your children are wearing, because if it becomes color coordinated intentionally, then there's a good chance your child has some type of gang affiliation going on. And here's one of the tweets, which is always mind-blowing to me, because it got this kind of thing from Lil Boosie when he got locked up here recently for the gun charge by the feds. But they are able to get this tweet out, and tweet from Quando Rondo says, "I love you, Paris." And I've always wondered this about street dudes and people who purport themselves to be street guys. Why is it that when you're in the hands of the authorities, then you think about the people that you love? Paris, Italy, Kaya, my mama Tess, my grandma Frida. I'll be back. You'll be back to do what? Because from these reports, they got him on gang terrorism charge, which means you were terrorizing Savannah, Georgia. So yeah, be mindful again. And this is an album cover. Okay. This is an album cover from Quando Rondo. And it's called Promoting Violence. And then, we're looking now like, oh, why did they arrest him? Why are they cracking down? Finally, the state of Georgia is cracking down on the gangs, and they're putting these enhancers on the sentencing. So you're going to get more people testifying against the gangs, because now the enhancers are, if you are gang affiliated along whatever sentence you got, then there's another mandatory 5 years that's tacked onto that. And if you are found to be influencing children, which I don't know I don't know how they come about that, but that's a 10-year enhancement onto whatever sentence you receive if it's gang affiliated. So you'll get more people now. You'll see them. They'll be gangster right up until the time they walk into the courtroom. and then they'll be trying to disassociate themselves. But most of them by that time will have created a path, created a not a path, um, created a digital footprint, because most of them going to be on social media flashing guns, got their flags, and all this kind of stuff. So you got to know that the hip hop industry is 100% dominated by the gang cultures. And it's been like that for a long time, but now it's just more right in your face. Okay. So when you say things like NBA Youngboy or YNW Melly, understand those letters usually are the calling card, the call signs or whatever for a particular gang, which gang culture is very, very interesting because it's very structured. Okay. Don't think, oh, them dumb gang members. No. Very intelligent people. In a lot of cases, but they dominate the rap industry, and the rap industry dominates the ears of the youth. So if you're not listening, then you're not speaking their language, and so you can get up in your ivory tower and, oh, I'm better than that. Well, you better get down in the mud, buddy, if you want to hear and understand and feel what these people are feeling and expressing. So again, that money that's going to be awarded to the citizens of Andrews, which I'll be okay with taking $2 million and sending to council. I mean, we could probably save. I ain't gonna be extra petty now. We could probably save a $500,000 of that, because no. Because I'm trying to give Clint Elliott a pass, not a pass, but use some consideration for the fact that, hey, he just got to council, but he's not deserving of that because of an email that he sent out. And him being so slow, not understanding that that's public property. So him. But about the tweet that this guy sent out, man, like, why do these guys, again, don't start thinking about your baby and your family. Forget your family at that point. You've been selling and doing what you've been doing. Don't get soft now. That's all I'm saying. Don't get soft now. Don't turn soft now. Okay. And again, I want to call y'all. I want to call you, Bob, but not on here. I'm calling though. I'm calling. Again, 4th of July is coming up. That's going to be Saturday, July 1st, 2023, in the Bloomingville community. It's where you want to be. You know how it is. You know how it goes down every year. So, starting this Saturday, parade. The lineup for the parade starts is that on here? Anyway, go over to the Bloomingville Community Association page. I'm gonna tag them once I'm done here. Y'all just click that link and go over there and find out all the information you need to, who you need to contact if you want to be a vendor down there. Yeah, that's where we at. Well, that. Do. Yeah, we're running a marathon today, and I got a good idea that I can do something to just fill some time in here. So you can check in and check out because this is gonna be going. But we're gonna fill some time in here today. Let's see. See if I can find me over here. And again, I have a link in the description and in the description box in the title, and you can click that link and come on screen with me. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what we'll do. Listen, if you haven't already, make sure you go over and follow us on YouTube. Make sure you follow Welcome to Andrews on Instagram. Make sure you follow Welcome to Andrews on Twitter. On the Twits. On the Twitterlation. Twitter Nation. Twitter Nation. Twitter Nation. And I can let this run for a few seconds, so that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're gonna do. What we going to
Like when the young ladies back in the days would pierce their ears, and they would break a piece of this and put the stick through their ears, and it would never get infected because of the medicine from the St. John the this little shrub.
St. John
wort.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you could buy that in the drugstore right now.
And it all grows natural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And see, they break the little place and insert it through their ears.
Yeah, so
And then, right.
Antibiotic.
Yeah, antibiotic, yeah. And then it would never get infected.
wow.
Yeah.
My name is Dante Bailey. I'm a shiitake mushroom farmer from Florence, South Carolina. And this right here is a shiitake log. The wood that I'm using here is sweet gum. And pretty much you take where you see, you make drill holes. And when you drill the holes, you are doing a diamond pattern. And then after that, you take an inoculation tool and you fill each hole with substrate. And then you want to put some wax over each hole. And then after that, you want to put the logs in a location where it's pretty moist and there's not very much sun. And in about 8 months time, you'll start seeing a fruiting body that will appear on the log. And each log produces about a half a pound to a pound of mushrooms. And after the first initial fruiting, you can take the log 8 weeks after that and submerge it into water for 14 to 24 hours. And once you take it out, about 2 days after that, then you'll start seeing that the fruiting body will pin. But the more you do that, the more it degrades the log. So you have to, if you're trying to do it for production purposes, then it would be okay for you to submerge them. If you're just doing it as a homeowner, you might want to let them produce on their own. And they will produce about 3 to 4 times a year.
Okay, and so Dante, how long have you been farming mushrooms?
I've been doing this for about 3 years, specifically doing the mushroom logs.
And is the shiitake the only type of mushroom that you farm?
Right now, for starting purposes, yes, this is as far as turnover rate and production purposes, this will be the best one to use as a commercial farmer.
So were you successful at doing it when you first started, or was there a learning curve?
When I first started, I grew up in Denmark. So my foster parents used to cut wood. So I always been in the woods. So it kind of came natural to want to cut the trees down, but I never did it myself. So it was a little scary. But after I got over the fact of falling the trees, that was pretty much it.
And so cost-wise, what does it cost to get into this kind of farming? What's your overhead a year roughly?
To get started, it's really low price, so about $150 for the tools, probably about $75, and then for each bag of spawn, that's about 5 pounds.
Yep. Harriet will be coming to Andrews. So y'all stay tuned for that. More information to come on that for the show. For the show. Shizzy for show. I'm getting hungry. Ain't nothing like some grapes and cheese, right? Grapes, cherries, and cheese. Sorry, I kind of doing it this way today, but you best believe on the mañana, on tomorrow, I will definitely be at Donnie's Grill for lunch. Meet me at Donnie's tomorrow. I think I want some of them wings right there, Donnie. Put that sauce on them and bang! Donnie's Grill, $9.15 Port Road. 843-344-8010. Y'all please give Donnie a call. Go ahead and reserve the building. Donnie's Grill. It's about 1 mile from the marina, right off of 701. So do yourself a favor and make your way to Donnie's Grill, please. So I need to figure some things out here. So guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Peace.